Hi everyone. So in this video, I will be covering about topic of function, which is in this topic we will have 6 part, which is in this topic we will have a part of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, calculation, how to substitute the value of x to calculate the value for function, and how to solve the value for x in function. Alright? Okay, so let us proceed with the first part, which is the addition. Okay, so let's say we are having two functions given to us, which is we have the first function fx 2x squared minus 6x, and we have gx 2x minus 6. So how we want to apply the operation of addition into this function given to us? So the addition, we know that addition is plus. So how we want to know that we need to plus the two functions given to us? So it says that if we are having f plus g and we have x in the bracket, so like this. So this one doesn't mean that we want to multiply with x. This one means that we are dealing with the function. And what we want to do is we want to plus function f with function g. So what we want to do is function f plus with function g. Okay, so we substitute the function into our operation. So what we are going to have is function f is 2x squared plus, minus 6x, and then we have plus, and then substitute with function g. So function g is 2x minus 6. So after we substitute, so make sure we don't have bracket. If we have bracket, we open up the bracket. If we don't have bracket, so what we want to do is we want to simplify our operation. How we want to simplify? Simplify the same variable with the same variable. So if we can see that the same variable that we have is x with x. So first we can see that 2x squared, we don't have any more x squared. So means that 2x squared is already the simplified one. So we can just write down the 2x squared. So we have 2x squared already simplified. But negative 6x with 2x, it's the same variable. So we can simplify these two values. So negative 6 with 2, negative 6 plus 2, we can simplify, it will come out with negative 4. So we can simplify, it will come out with negative 4x. So we simplify the x. Then we have negative 6. So we don't have any more value. So negative 6 is already the simplified one. So now we cannot simplify anymore. So this is the simplified operation for function f plus function g, which is f plus gx. Alright, so that is the addition for function. Alright, so let us go with the second part, which is subtraction. So again, subtraction, you know subtraction is minus. So how you want to know you are dealing with minus for function? So again, if it's given to you f minus gx, so again, x here at the back doesn't mean that you want to multiply with x. It just means that you are dealing with function. So again, if you can see that you have f minus g here, it means that what you want to do is you want to have function f minus with function g. Alright? Okay, so the same thing, you need to substitute the function into the operation. So first function f, so you substitute into the function. So function f is 2x squared minus 6x. So 2x squared minus 6x. And then you have minus. So after minus, always after minus, put bracket. Okay, and then you substitute with function g, which is 2x minus 6. Don't forget about the bracket after minus. Always put bracket after minus. Alright, okay, now after you substitute, you can see that you have bracket. So you need to open up the bracket. So if you can see that to open up the bracket, you need to multiply you need to multiply with this the minus with all the value inside the bracket. Means that the minus multiply with 2x and also minus with negative 6. So then you will have here 2x squared minus 6x minus 2x plus 6. Okay, so after you open up the bracket, then the same thing, you need to simplify the same variable with the same variable. So now you can see you will have 2x squared negative 8x plus 6. Alright, okay, so that is your final answer for f minus g x. So that is for the subtraction. Alright, so that's the second part. So let us proceed to the third part, which is third part is about the multiplication. So the same thing for multiplication, f black dot g x. So if you find something like this, so this one means that what you want to do is function f multiply with function g. So black dot here means that multiply the function. Alright, okay. So for multiplication, always put bracket for all the function. Alright, okay. So the same thing, substitute the function into the operation. So the first function, f function, which is 2x squared minus 6, always put bracket for all of the functions. So for function f, put bracket. I'll make it bigger. Okay, so 2x squared minus 6x. And then multiply with function g, also put bracket. Okay, this multiply, right? The multiply symbol, you want to write it down, also okay. You don't want to write it down, also okay. So if you want to write it down, okay. If you don't want to write it down, also okay. It's up to you. It's just the same thing. Alright, okay. So for function g, also put bracket. Alright, then you substitute with the function. So 2x minus 6. Okay, so again, after you substitute with the function, so what you need to do next is you need to open up the bracket. So the same thing, to open up the bracket, the first value in the first bracket, you need to multiply with all the value in the second bracket. So 2x squared multiply 2x, you will have 4x cubed. 2x squared multiply negative 6, you will have negative 12x squared. And then after you're done, then you go with the second value in the first bracket. So you need to do the same thing. Multiply with all the value in the second bracket. So negative 6x multiply with 2x, you will have negative 12x squared. And negative 6x multiply negative 6x, you will have positive 36x. Alright, so after you open up, so the same thing, simplify, so you will come up with 4x cubed negative 24x squared positive 36x. So that's the final answer. And then the last operation, which is the fourth part, is the division. So still the same thing for the division. You are coming up with a f divide g x. So the same thing, this one, you know that what you want to do is function of f divide with function of g. Okay, so this one also the same thing. Substitute with the function into the operation. So what you are going to have here is 2x squared minus 6x divide with 2x minus 6. Okay, so for the division, you need to apply the factorization. So you need to factorize the upper part, you need to also factorize the lower part. If you cannot factorize, then it's okay. Alright, so you need to factorize both. If you cannot factorize the upper part, you factorize the lower part. If you cannot factorize the lower part, it's okay. Alright, so first we go with the upper part. So if you can see that for the upper part, we can factorize the value, we can factorize the variable, which is we can factorize, we can take out value 2, we can take out x. So means that on the upper part, we take out 2 and we take out 1x. So we leave the answer inside the bracket. We are going to have x minus 3. Alright. And then for the lower part, also we can factorize. We can take out value 2. But we cannot take out variable. So we take out 2. So we leave answer inside the bracket with x minus 3. Okay, so after we factorize, then we need to divide the value. So if you can see that for each of the upper part and the lower part, we can see that we have the same value 2 and also x minus 3. So we cancel off 2 and 2 and also x minus 3 with x minus 3. So now we leave with the answer of x. So that is our final answer. So that is the simplified answer. Alright, okay, so that is for the fourth part. Let's move on to the fifth part, which is given the x value. Alright, so this one we need to calculate. Okay, so for this fifth part, so whenever we can see that inside the bracket we have value, means that our final answer also should be in terms of value. That means that we want to substitute in all x with the value. Okay, let's say for example we have here f in bracket negative 1. This one means that we want to substitute negative 1 in all x in function f. So if we can see that function f that we have is 2x squared minus 6x. So what we want to do is we want to substitute negative 1 into all x that we have. So means that what we are going to do is 2 and then we have x. So we substitute with negative 1. Then we have square. Then we have negative 6. And then again we have x. So again we want to substitute with negative 1. That's what we want to do for whenever we have value in the bracket. We want to substitute the value into x. So then we can see that everything is value. Then we calculate for the value. Alright, so you can calculate manually. You can also straight away use your calculator. It's up to you. Alright, so use calculator is easier. So you will have 2 negative 1 square minus 6 negative 1. So you will have here equals to 8. Alright. Okay, so you can see that here this is the final answer. Okay, so whenever you can see that inside the bracket you have value, your final answer also you should have value. So that is given x value, calculate for the value for function. Alright, so that is the fifth part. Then let us go with the last part for function, which is the solve for x for function. Alright, okay, so let's say it's given to us the example, solve function g equals to negative 4. So whenever it says that solve, so the keyword here is solve. Solve itself means that what we want to do is we want to find the value of our variable or find the value of our unknown. Okay, alright. So again, we can see that here what we have is gx equals to negative 4 or function g equals to negative 4. Again, we know that function g is 2x minus 6. So we substitute with the function g into our gx here. Okay, so we have function g which is 2x minus 6. And it says that function g equals to negative 4. So we also put here equals to negative 4. Okay, now we can solve for the value of the x, which is to solve for value of x, we need to move everything to the other side. So first, we move the negative 6 to the other side first. So negative 6, when we move to the other side, it will become plus 6. So it will become 2x equals to minus 4 plus 6. So minus 4 plus 6, it will become 2. So it will have 2x equals to 2. What we want to know is the x value. So the same thing, 2, we need to move to the other side. Since that 2 and x, they multiply, when we move 2 to the other side, it will become divide. So means that it will become x equals to 2 divide 2. So 2 divide 2 is 1. So that is the value of x. So we solve for the value of x. So that is our answer. So that is basically the parts for function. Alright? Okay. So I will make another one video for one example I extracted from the past here. Okay, so we are going to discuss further for another examples and exercises in classes, but I will put another one video for another one example, so you can go ahead to the another video for the another example. Alright, okay.